Happy and energetic day, dear children. I welcome you all to the English Corner. Children, today we are going to learn one more writing skill, that is article writing. Okay, writing an article. Today's learning objectives, right? Get acquainted with the format and structure of an article. You're going to learn how to introduce, how to develop, and how to conclude an article. You're going to learn to write a coherent, correct, and relevant article. Right? Next is we are going to have an introduction, then definition in format of an article. Then we will have points to remember and we will have samples. That samples only you are going to write in your composition note. Okay. Then I am giving you assignments that you are going to write in your homework note. Okay, children. So these are all the concepts in this module. What are they? Introduction, definition of an article, format of an article, then points to remember, samples and assignments. Very simple, right? So next is trying to write an article can seem daunting at first. First, it will be very difficult. Learning to write well is one of the most challenging tasks for anyone. You could have seen many articles in newspaper. It has to be precise. The language skill is very, very important. So all that you are going to develop in this particular schedule. Right? Learning to write well is one of the most challenging tasks for everyone. Irrespective of the age group of one belongs to, it is not uncommon to find people good at spoken language, not able to express themselves in writing. Creative writing must seem like an insurmountable job, but with constant practice and dedication, anybody can hone their English writing skills. Okay. So I hope you will get an idea of what an article writing. Now we'll have a proper definition. An article is a piece of writing usually intended for publication in a newspaper, magazine, or journal. It is written for a wide audience. So it is essential to attract and retain the reader's attention. That is very, very important. Right? An article is like a direct conversation. With whom? With the readers. You must make sure to make your writing engaging. So it has to be interesting. Then only they will read the article. Right? An article can describe an experience, an event, person, and place. You can present an opinion or balanced arguments. You can provide information about anything. You can offer suggestions or advice in your articles. So, an article can describe an experience, event, person, and place. You can present an opinion or balanced arguments. You can provide information. You can offer suggestions or advice. Right? To write an article, the writer requires creativity, rich vocabulary, good grammatical skill, in-depth knowledge of the subject, fact-finding ability. Right? So, format of an article. How an article should be? It should have a heading, byline. Okay? It should have a heading and a byline. It should have an introductory paragraph, middle paragraph, and concluding paragraph. Right? So, heading, byline, introductory paragraph, middle paragraph, and concluding paragraph. So, title. Title should be very catchy. That is what attention grabbing. By seeing the title, everyone should get attracted, and he or she has to read the article. So it has to be attention grabbing. Title is very, very important. And original. It should be original. The article has to be original. It should be thought provoking. The title should be eye catching so that it attracts the reader's attention and suggests the theme of the article. You should not give some other title which is not relevant. It has to be relevant and it suggests the theme of the article. The title should stimulate the reader's interest. It has to create interest towards the reader. Example, Titanic sinks, 1500 died. So this is the title, and the title has to be in bold, bigger letters. Right, children? Read the following first paragraph and think of an appropriate title for each one. So, it is surprising that sometimes we don't listen to what people say to us. We hear them, but we don't listen to them. This is very, very important. We hear them, but we don't listen to them. I was curious to know how hearing is different from listening. Right? So, one more thing. How hearing and listening are different. That you have to consider and you have to think about it. Right, children? 1 minute. We saw this introduction, format of an article, right? We saw this English writing skill, we saw the definition, and we saw an article with the direct conversation, and we saw what article can do, right? We saw to write an article, what the writer requests, that is creativity, rich vocabulary, good grammatical skills, in-depth knowledge of the subject, fact-finding, ability, all that we saw. Format of an article also we saw, right? And we saw Titanic sinks, that is about the title of the article. And you can see here, it is surprising. We hear and we listen. It was curious to know how hearing is different from listening. I thought both are synonym first. But gradually I realized there is a big difference between these two words. What is the difference? Right? Find it out in your dictionary. What is the difference between listening and hearing? So now introduction. Immediately it has to attract the reader's attention, arouses interest in what is to be followed, should pique the interest of the readers and entice them to read more. We will read only the headlines, but it has to elucidate the title briefly, contains a highlight of the article, can give a background to the topic or hint at the central idea. It begins with a rhetorical question, slogan or fact. In example, website helps boost brain power. This is the title. There is a small introduction paragraph which attracts reader's attention, right? It has to begin with the slogan, right? It has to begin with the slogan. So it will be very interesting. Now, body of the article. So first paragraph we said it is introduction. Body is the next paragraph. Throw light on the topic introduced in the opening paragraph. Give critical insights. The body is the main part of the article and comprises of several paragraphs. The body doesn't mean that only one paragraph should be there. It can have many paragraphs. Here you talk about the cause and the effect of the issues. Whatever you are taking The problem can be taken. What is the cause for that problem and what are the effect of that issue can be discussed here, right? Now, for instance, while talking about junk food as a threat to our health, you can write about the causes of our addiction to street and junk food and its effect on our health. You can also talk about the subsequent effects on our productivity as a student or an employee or a citizen. Right? Now, conclusion paragraph. Conclusion paragraph pose a thoughtful question, demand some sort of action, arouse hope or point at possible outcome. You have to suggest results or consequences. Actress get crime fighting start in Disney TV program. In that, a conclusion is given in a small paragraph. Pose a thoughtful question, demand some sort of action, arouse hope or point at possible outcome. You have to suggest results or consequences. Right? The last part of an article is a conclusion, right? The conclusion should be very impressive. Like how the title is important, the introduction part is important, conclusion is also important and it has to impress others. This help reader to remember your writing. Next time, if you write, definitely they have to read. They are more likely to revisit your article if the conclusion is impressive. The conclusion should highlight the benefit derived from reading the post. It should ideally provide a summary of the entire article, right? The summary of the entire article should be written in the conclusion. So, any doubts here? Points to remember. What are the points to remember? That is do's and don'ts. We can say like that. What are the points? Once you have made an outline of an article, you should present the points according to their importance and relevance. Once again, once you have made an outline of your article, you should present the points according to their importance and relevance. Remember that you are writing an article and not a debate, and hence it is imperative that you present your views in an unbiased manner. Okay, you should not be biased. You should not say anything in favor of one person. It has to be unbiased. You must end your article with a rational conclusion. Try and sum up all the important points here. You can also give suggestions. Right? Don'ts. What are the don'ts? Don't use over personal or over emotional language. Don't talk about yourself. You're writing for the general public, not a close circle of friends. Right? It is a mass media. Newspaper is a mass media and you are writing for the public. So, you have to use general, very good language. Okay. Do not exceed the word limit. So, don't use over personal or over emotional language. Don't talk about yourself because you are writing for the general public, not a close circle of friends. And don't exceed the word limit. Now, we are going to read an article, but we will read this in the next session only. Okay, dear? So, go through the articles, how to write an article, and in newspapers, you can read so many articles to be good at article writing. You experience those things and try to write an article in a better way. Thank you.